New Jersey. Okay, I can see the comments here. Yes, and this is why I wanted to kind of show you my nails, because many times what we see during when people show the befores are terrible, and that's not really a good sign, right? Because you don't want the before to be really, really bad. So here are my nails before, and I find that it's so important to do nails on a regular basis, and that's the part that's kind of frustrating when it comes to helping clients in the salon, because clients expect a perfection, and they come in and they take care of their nails once every 3 weeks, and that is not really enough. What they have to do is they have to maintain their nails every day, right? Not just once every 3 weeks. Okay, so I'm going to show you this very, very simple manicure and how to kind of maintain this look all the time, because really this is what my nails look like. I'm gonna do closer after a week. So I had to repolish them yesterday because I destroyed the polish. So this is just 2 coats of clear nail polish, but I didn't do, the manicure part. So I'm going to remove this polish very quickly with acetone, and I'm going to shape the nails, and then I'm going to do a cuticle work. So that way you'll see how I do this. So when it's 1 or 2 coats of polish, I remove the polish a little bit differently. I don't really stick the polish, the pad on the nail, like I do when I have colored nail polish with many coats. Okay, so, and even you can see my nails, and it's not that I'm obviously trying to brag, but the nails are healthy. And this is so simple, and I think sometimes people make it more difficult than it has to be, because I don't know, very often with manicures, they create more trauma. So the nails, yes, initially look much, much better, but over time, they create more damage than good. I just had a client that I think I saw her maybe 4th time, and the skin around her nails was really, I don't want to say really, really bad, but it was not good. And I can see with the 4th manicure, the difference is really visible. Probably would be even more visible if she used, creams with urea, for example, on a more regular basis, but she doesn't. But it takes few manicures for people to start seeing a difference. And very often it's tough in the salon situation, because people want that initial amazing before and after. And very often, in order to do it gently, it takes longer than 1 manicure. Okay, so here it is. When you remove with a pure acetone, you start seeing a little bit more. Hi, Ferris. Yes, you know what? I figured I'm going to do this at a different time. So you guys, different people have opportunity to see this. Okay, so I really like these glass files. And I like doing my nails over my lap. So this is how I normally do my nails. Some people like to do their nails over the table. I'm going to get a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. I have a computer next to me, so if you have questions, let me know. I will be able to read them. And I have so many people asking in a comment section they usually say, how do I do my cuticles, because mine are way worse, they're overgrown and I don't know what to do. You know what? You do exactly the same thing. It's just going to, if they're really, really badly damaged, it's just going to take longer. It's almost like if you are trying to lose weight or gain weight. It really doesn't matter how much you have to gain, it's just you still have to do the same thing. It just will take you a little bit longer, right? So I'm going to shorten them quite a bit, because I really like my nails short, so they don't get in the way. There you go. I have the links to the files in the description box of this video. So if you would like to get them, there is a link. They are an affiliate link, so I do make a commission. I have to disclose that. So this is how we maintain this channel, because we are making commissions as well. So it really, really helps if you can purchase through her links. Okay. So what I'm going to use Blue Cross. And I'm really enjoying the Blue Cross. I think it's the best. I've worked with different cuticle removers, and I find the Blue Cross to be working the best. The glass files, I had some people ask me if they seal the nail, and I'm going to be honest with you, is they don't seal the nail. Because nothing can really seal the nail if it can shorten it, right? So the way they work, they're just very, very gentle, and they leave very nice surface, but they can't prevent any kind of peeling really or anything like that. Because peeling does not come from damaged ends, it comes from a damaged surface of the nail that shows up on the end. That's the thing. Okay, so we have a question. In just last week or so, I've seen several male accounts I follow posting people actually cutting off the proximal. Yeah, I know. You know, or people very, very aggressively file the skin, and they lift it and they dig underneath. And I just kind of wonder, I'm like, why do people hate on that little piece of skin so much? Like, it's absolutely normal to have a proximal nail fold, or to have the skin fold, or the skin around the nail. It's just absolutely normal. The thing is, if that skin looks ugly or dry or whatever, the key is to take care of it and to protect it, and not to cut it, because if you cut it, you're creating a trauma. And they think it's a dead skin, so it can be cut. But the reason why it's keratinized or it's hard, it's because of trauma. So if we cause more trauma, we're gonna even cause more ugly looking skin. So there is a link in my description box. It's at the very bottom. So later on, check it out. And it's Doug Schoon's article called "Where is Cuticle?" So I have it there, check it out. And there is a whole, like a lot of detailed information. What exactly is proximal nail fold? What exactly is cuticle? And it's not what you think. So there's two, and once I get into the cuticle parts, I'll explain everything in detail, and that makes so much more sense, because then you learn what you can safely remove and what you should not be removing. So I'm a little bit all over the place when it comes to filing the nails. So this is like a week and a half of growth, because I think last time I just did the polish. Okay, London Grace, before I dress ridge filler base works good. Okay, we have some nail fold. Yeah, terrifying, yeah. Yes, the cuticle eraser has alpha hydroxy acid, probably by C&D, right? So the cuticle eraser has alpha hydroxy acids, which are exfoliating, which is great, and moisturizing depending on the pH of the product. So you can use, but the thing is with cuticle eraser, it's such a small amount in that little container. You could use other creams, but I mean, obviously if it works for you, it works for you, so that's great. But you know, you don't have to use a specific product for that area as a cream. Okay, I struggle with the nail skin. I'm always hard and dead. I try to moisturize it, but it's not going back. Okay, so Candy, so are you cutting it, or are you treating it very aggressively? Because when that skin is, you know, when you think about it, hard skin comes from skin being damaged and being aggressively kind of treated. When you are really protecting the skin, when the skin is protected, even like when you think about it on the soles of the feet, this skin is much softer than the skin on your heels, because there is no pressure and there is no trauma to that skin, right? The skin that is exposed to trauma and pressure, it's going to get harder as a response to that trauma. So you kind of have to figure out what you're doing to cause that trauma. So if the skin is just dry, then use proper moisturizing creams. So use something, like I say, with urea, because urea is also exfoliating. Something maybe with salicylic acid that also works. If you want, you know what, guys? Okay, so I was thinking about creating a video with kind of my advice and some tips and hints for you guys. So if you are interested in me kind of going over and giving you some ideas on what to do, please send me a picture to thesalonlife@gmail.com with pictures of your nails. And when you are taking pictures of your nails, do it this way. So make sure you remove all the polish and wipe the nails with pure acetone or 99% alcohol. Acetone probably would be better. So wipe it like this, because that shows me how the texture of the nail, what the texture of the nail is. And keep your hand, get a nice lamp, a bright light, and keep your hand kind of this way so the light shines directly on the nail. And when you're taking a picture, first of all, wipe the camera lens and then take a picture from about like this kind of distance, right? So I don't know what it is, like 20 centimeters or something, or I don't know, 10 inches. Because when you go too close, then you lose the clarity. So then point onto your hand and then tap an area that you want the camera to concentrate on. So tap the nail and then take a picture and send me that picture and let me know what kind of questions you have. And that way I will be able to maybe come up with some videos, and you guys can all learn and kind of, watch what I have to say about the nails. Okay. Blue Cross, I poured it in a bottle to see how I like application with a brush. And you know what? I really, really like it. So, because otherwise it kind of goes all over the place. I'm gonna, get a little bit closer. Okay, I'm gonna read some of the comments. They stick along with the cuticle and grow onto the nail, proximal nail fold. Yeah, I was cutting it before even. So what happens is, it takes a long time. When you think about it, the damage was not created in a day or two or even in a week. It was usually created, by mistreating that area for a very long time. So it's going to take a little bit longer for this to correct itself, right? Okay, so this is really, really good. So just have patience. And if that skin is hard, it means that it needs moisturizing and protection and not cutting. Sometimes you can exfoliate the skin a little bit, but there is a big difference between exfoliating and filing the heck out of your skin, right? So I hope you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm not applying this on a finger. I'm applying this on a nail plate. So where the nail joins the skin. Okay. And this works very fast. So I'm going to grab the cuticle stick. This is a glass one. I get a little bit closer. And I like to do this when the remover is still on the nail plate. If you don't have the cuticle stick, what you can do is you can grab the wooden one. I should have actually showed you. Actually, no, after the manicure, I'll show you how to kind of maintain it. You can just push it back just very, very gently. It doesn't have to be perfect in between manicures. Okay, so now the manicure part. So what I'm going to do is I almost do these little circles. So I kind of feel where the skin gives me a little bit of resistance and just push it a little bit. Like I'm not trying to dig underneath and really make any kind of pockets, because that is kind of freaks me out when people really create a pocket. There should not be any pocket. The reason for a cuticle is to seal the nail. So now there is a skin here that has a flap. Okay, I think, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. So the proximal nail fold, this skin is like this. Okay, it actually flips down. Actually, let's just do it this way. This way. And this is the edge that sometimes is damaged, right? So if you just protect this area, because this takes a lot of beating kind of by even like when you are grabbing things, so it just gets calloused and dry. So now this area folds underneath, and underneath you have eponychium. So this is the tissue here that's very, very thin. So that's why people sometimes say you're cutting eponychium, but no. The eponychium is underneath the it's a bottom part of the proximal nail fold. And this part of the skin sheds cuticle. So let's think of cuticle as these little, it's obviously much, much thinner. So let's just kind of do it this way. So this is the cuticle. And when this part is growing, both of these areas are growing. And the function of the cuticle is to create a seal in between this part and the nail plate. Okay, so this is a seal. So in order to seal out bacteria and viruses, right? So when this part grows, and it's this part, and it's stuck to the natural nail, it's going to grow with it. So when you push it back like this, hold on a regular basis every day, this is not going to then grow with the nail. It's going to nicely, and especially when that area is nice and elastic, it's going to bounce back and sit really nicely along the nail. So that's what we want. And the cuticle then, that kind of peaks. Let me just show you again. Can I have the spray water?
Wait, stop the presses. I'm here.
Wow.
I'm here, everyone. It's all okay now. Hi,
so
everyone.
this cuticle.
What did you need?
The cuticle, cutting cuticles isn't good. I leave mine. Yes, and what it is, the spray.
Oh.
That one.
Yeah,
so cutting cuticles, that's incorrect term, because you are usually cutting the fold, not the cuticle. Because cuticle, you can, oops. Hi. The cuticle is a dead part of skin. So even if you cut it, nothing is going to happen. But usually what we do with the cuticle is when it peeks out, we just remove that part here, right? So let's say it dissolves with the cuticle remover and then it gets removed. But this part should never be cut. So what the dermatologist is saying, and yes, a lot of people will say that in a way that people understand it, not to cut the cuticles. But cuticle is just like skin, it's a singular form. It's a piece of skin, piece of tissue, or like a tissue that sticks out usually from underneath the proximal nail fold. And the reason why the cuticle is not visible further is because this part of the nail is quite protected, right? So it's not going to come off that nail. But here we're constantly, moving things and like rubbing the nails, so the cuticle tissue comes off from this side, but it's still left behind in that little groove. So that's why, we want to remove it, because it looks nicer when it's nice and neat. So once we understand that there's two pieces of skin, sometimes we can't see it. Sometimes some people have very little cuticle. Some people have more. So now, because I've been talking so much, oh my goodness, this kind of dried up. So you don't want to be leaving this on the skin for too long. I'm gonna redo this. So you want to rinse it with water. So I'm going to go over this again. So pushing back the proximal nail fold and little circles. So now this is, when you watch my watch me work videos, you'll see that I usually push this back first, and then I go back with the other end and I remove the cuticle. So this is kind of just lifting the cuticle a little bit and just pushing back gently the proximal nail fold. And I suggest doing the manicure like I'm doing now weekly, Because if that skin if the proximal nail fold or the nail fold or the living skin gets a chance to stick to the nail, it's just going to start growing with it. Yes, exactly, because Carousel has it has urea and it has salicylic acid and it has Vaseline. All these three things are very, very good for the skin. So now this portion of the cuticle stick, it has a bit of a texture. So you have to be gentle with it. Okay, so I thought I can read all the comments, but I can't. So we're gonna have Mr. Solon Life read some of the comments. Okay, so these things you have to be so careful with because I can see that this one is chipped. The side is chipped. It still works, but you have to be super careful with the ends. So again, you don't want to be digging now underneath. You just want to remove that little tissue from the nail plate. You see how, I don't know if you can see, these little pieces is cuticle. Okay, and this piece here is a proximal nail fold that we don't want to cut. And I mean, sometimes when you have a, torn skin, people call it a hangnail, you have to, and it's okay to cut it if you have a feeling that if you don't cut it, it's going to tear even further. So sometimes, yes, I have to do that too, but I try really doing that to a minimum. Because when you cut it, the skin is just going to start growing further, because this is the skin's response to trauma, is to grow thicker skin. So when this is done on a regular basis, there is barely anything that you have to do. So now if you have a little bit of a hard skin, you want to get rid of, so not dry, but hard. Because dry skin has to be protected. If there is some hard skin, you can just soften it with this file. But, think of it as exfoliation, and exfoliation can be done very, very gently, but to a point. You don't want to be removing too much skin, because that will cause inflammation, and inflammation will cause more skin. So just gently reduce the hard skin. And that's done. When it comes to different supplements, because I see that someone was talking about biotin, just generally a good diet and various supplements probably can help skin, because definitely.
But supplements are there to supplement. I mean, there's
Exactly.
other things that need to be done prior to, and having good sleep, good, food, making sure that you're, things even such as stress, heightened cortisol. I mean, these are all things that need to be addressed, as well as using supplements.
Yeah, because we all want like a Band-Aid solution. We all want to kind of find this one thing that it's going to solve all our issues, and then we don't have to worry about it. But sadly, that's not the case.
Yeah.
The case is, yes, a good proper diet is going to improve the health of your whole body. And nails are a part of your body, so definitely there was no one answer to one size fits all kind of. So see, okay, I hope you can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's very important that you address it. Using vitamin D to fix vitamin D is great, but there's like a deficiency. But you have to really look at the whole picture. Not just taking that thing to fix that problem. It's just that problem is usually from it's just a much broader
exactly
thing, right?
Sometimes people with iron deficiency have weaker nails. Sometimes could be protein related.
Yeah.
I have iron deficiency and my nails are perfectly fine. So it's not always. It could be protein deficiency. It could be so many different things that nails, damaged nails or dry nails or peeling nails can be. And sometimes it could be just genetic too. Like for example, some people have thin hair,
some have thick hair,
fine hair, and some people have
no hair.
Yeah, some people have no hair. So it's kind of sometimes looking at your toenails is a good indicator. So for example, if on your toenails the nails are also very weak and bendy and splitting, that suggests that it's not really what you're doing. Kind of, it's kind of internal, right?
Yeah.
Or genetic too.
But we just got a comment about from Amazon 213, just saying, good hydration, good multivitamin, moisturize. They felt that these 3 items have been very good for them, and they can be. Hydration is important, moisturizing is important.
But hydration is overrated, because and a lot of people kind of want to. They think that you need to drink a lot of water in order to have a hydrated skin. But the thing is, if there is a lot of water in the bottom layers of the skin, in the nail bed, for example, but if that water is not sealed on the surface of the nail, it's not going to kind of help, right? So yeah, but definitely hydration is it's good for properly functioning, body.
Actually, I wanted to address the multivitamin. A vast majority of the multivitamins are the problem with them is that yes, they how do I explain this?
There was not enough of.
There's just not enough of any one thing. It's like tiny amounts of so many different things, and it's always good to go and get blood work done to see where there might be deficiencies. Let it be magnesium, zinc, vitamin D3. These types of things. It's always good to go find out what you are deficient in.
Yeah.
See what you can be doing to help those things without supplementation, and if in fact you are doing these things correctly. Sleep, sun, etc., so on and so forth, then you look at using a supplement to help with that. And you want a supplement that will be, let's say, specific to, in fact, that issue itself. And where with a multivitamin, it just tends to, it gives you a sprinkling of everything. And it may help a little here, a little there, but it's always good.
It might not fix the issue.
Yeah, you want to be looking at perhaps something with a bit more specificity, right?
So Suzanne is saying that she never leaves her nails unpolished. You know what? And I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, definitely for what works for some people might not work for others. But you know what? I do guys' manicures. And pedicures. So, and often people that don't do nail polish, right? So they don't use nail polish. And you know what? Their nails never have usually surface damage. So often nail companies will kind of tell you that you should always keep your nails polished for them to be protected. I actually, from my experience, don't find that to be helpful. Because nails also, if they're unpolished, they receive a lot of oils from the body. So from hair, from skin. So the oils help the condition of the nails as well. So I don't think nail polish is necessarily that helpful. For example, in the winter, very often I leave my nails now unpolished. And they never get more damaged just because I don't have polish. It's quite to contrary. People, if they keep polish off their toenails, they usually come back with healthier nails.
Right.
So I don't believe that that's a case for many people. For some people, possibly.
Yeah. But
for many people, I don't think that's the problem. I think sometimes nail polish companies try to blame the damage on things that are a little bit unrelated. So if you, let's say, choose not to have polish, you can use product like Rescue RX, for example, which kind of does have that sealing effect, but without wearing nail polish. Because when you think about it, anything that's bonded to the surface of your nail can potentially cause damage. Because if you're pulling on that bond, that product is, like I said, bonded, so it's holding onto the nail. And when you're pulling it or create tension on that bond, the top cells of the nail can suffer, right?
Mm-hmm. I love the science and education that you provide. You're welcome. That's
thank you. For listening.
I don't know if I want to say we try really hard. It's just that both of us are really nerdy and spend our evenings
reading more about the stuff that we're interested in.
Like, when most people are sitting at home and they're watching the television, let it be the news, sports, or, something of entertainment, or for some of your guys' cases, watching, YouTube and like channels like ours, we're reading
to provide stuff. More.
Yeah, we're reading a lot of nerdy
our
stuff.
Channel. Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of twofold because yes, it helps us provide better content for all of you. And
but it truly interests us.
Yes, but there's also the selfish aspect that this is stuff that really interests us and that we enjoy reading about. Mm-hmm. So it's very twofold for us. Right?
Okay, so now I use sometimes this little tool that some people frowned upon, but sometimes it's very, very helpful. Mm-hmm. So with this, and just like with the little buffer or with the little file, but sadly this machine is way overused very often, and I'm really starting to use it less and less, or show you less and less, because it's not really necessary when you are doing this on a weekly basis. So I use it more often in a salon because, like I mentioned before, people come in much less often, so they have a more, you can see what I'm doing here, just this part is bugging me here. I'll do it on the reverse. But when you go like this over and over and over and over the nail, you're absolutely removing the nail plate. You're not doing yourself any favors. Okay, and this is it for the machine that I'm going to use. So this is how the nails look. And you know what? When you're done with manicure, you have to kind of let it go, because sometimes I know people are such perfectionists and they see this little piece of skin here and they want to get rid of it, or they see something else like this little dry piece. You have to, you don't have to do anything. I found that I have to just let it go, and the end result is actually very, very good. It's just I had to learn when to let go, and it really, really helped me. So this little piece you can use. So now I'm going to use alcohol, 99% alcohol, to wipe the nails, and I'm going to polish them. What should I polish them with? Clear nail polish. So that's what I always do. So boring. So
while you're doing that, Terry had just said, I just found that my nails are worse off after polish, so it's rare that I polish my nails. Good morning from California. Oh. Well, good morning.
Yeah, and I believe it. I've seen that with clients. And, sometimes we are so sure of our experiences that we're like, no, I can't damage the nails. But no, it can. Mm-hmm. I had a client who had pretty good nails, and after a couple of manicures, her nails were very, very flaky and damaged. Just regular polish. So there was, I didn't cause any damage when it comes to the removal or anything like that. It's just that the nail polish, and what happens is, I think, especially with long-lasting nail polishes, is that they bond really, really well to the nail plate, which is a good thing, right? We want that. But if the bond of the nail polish is stronger than the bond of the cells of the nail plate to each other, that bond eventually, or the movement of the nail, is going to lift those little cells. So for some people, with many people with healthy nails, the nail polish does not cause any damage, but for some people it absolutely can. So let's look at my nails. And I don't know if you can see, I think you can see that this hand is a little bit more stained than this one. Can you see that on the computer? Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So what's happening is I'm trying to test if the staining is caused by the colorants in the nail polish, like it's been claimed, or Vivian from Dazzle Dry discovered that nitrocellulose can actually cause, in a nail polish, which is a film forming agent, can cause yellowing of the nails. And I think she has a very good point, because I've been using nitrocellulose-free nail polish. So Dazzle Dry is nitrocellulose-free. I never see any yellowing ever on any of my clients. Their nails are perfectly healthy. I did have some clients that had some white spots, which is like the surface damage we're talking about, but much less, but absolutely no yellowing. But there are a couple other base coats that I have that are nitrocellulose-free, which is this one and this one. And I've been using these two products on this hand, and just a normal clear nail polish on this hand. Well, clear. I've been using usually the Dior or some other product on this hand. So as you can see, there is a little bit of staining just on the ends of the nails. And the staining from this one, because I had staining on both, grew out. Okay, so let's continue with this. And I'm going to move this computer a little bit and show you how I polish this hand first. So I'm going to hold this and make sure that I have just a little polish on this side of the brush. And
oh, Marta just dropped in. Hi everyone, just popping in whilst working on the computer at the same time. Well, thank you for popping in, and I'm already digging into the
candies.
The candies.
Okay, we're back. Yes. She said, you know what? She's right. She's right. Let's redo this, because I was going to test the CN. Okay, so let's do the CN on one hand.
My hands are in water often enough that it affects my nails. That would hydrate and flatten, then dehydrate, curl, and crack. Polish helps.
Yeah, for some people it definitely helps. But don't forget, nail polish, what it does also, it's semi-occlusive nail polish, so the moisture builds up underneath the nail as well.
So Megan says, hello from Las Vegas, Nevada. You saved my nails. Started using carousel and a glass file. Oh my goodness, it worked. Thank you so much.
Wow.
You're welcome so much, Megan. I'm glad that our content has been helping you out.
Guys, honestly, because I mentioned that earlier, please send me pictures. If you have questions about your nails, like I mentioned, take a good picture like this of your nails, removed polish, preferably before a manicure. Send me a picture, thesalonlife@gmail.com, and I'll make a video with my answers. And, obviously with a question that you have about your nails, and I'll make a video.
Start swimming twice a week and already know to soak my hands in oil before and after.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazon, interesting. I hope you do a video on your experiment with the nitrocellulose. Sorry, guys. Free base coat. We need swimming gloves to protect our nails.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? If you can get, this is a very, very early, kind of review of the Thin nail brightener, but that stuff is really good. The brush is amazing. The price is like shockingly low. It does look very much, I think this is the closest dupe, the closest look to the Nail Glow. It's a little bit less pink Then the nail glow. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do 2 coats so you can see more of a difference. But it's definitely worth buying. And this is also nitrocellulose free. Okay, so this one was this, and it's available at Lidl. Okay, so this is like €2, and this is like 26 euros. Yeah.
All right. Candy number 2.
Very low nail breaks on the clients, like here. That suggests that their nails are either too long or very inflexible. So adding a lot of oil and protecting their nails and having their nails shorter is a solution. There was no way of really fixing it. I really don't like fixing nails by putting coating on the whole nail. Because I find if the nail is damaged here and then you put a coating on the whole nail then surface is damaged. So then you need like 3 months to grow out the damage from the actual patch. Personally, I'm not a huge fan. So this is the Nail Glow. Also a fantastic brush. So there's a lot of brightening polishes on the market, but a lot of them, majority of them are kind of really blue looking. So they have this really blue or purple kind of glow, which, you know, I don't mind, but not a lot of my clients like. That's why I use the Nail Glow, because it gives you brighter look without really kind of making your nails look kind of like, you know, dead or something.
Avoiding sharp, square nails helps me avoid breaks. That was coming from Marta.
Yeah.
And she's happy that I'm enjoying the candies. I was just saying, you know, after like 12 of them,
you're used to it now. You're appreciating the...
Yeah, it took, well, I was explaining to her, like, you just don't know what to expect. Like with the first one, it's like you're just overwhelmed, and the first few of them, I was like, holy heckins, what are these? But I'm like, you know what, give some time, try them out, and sure enough,
It's like with coffee, right? Like at first you're like, oh, that's gross, and then you can't live without it.
And now it's like, I like these candies. They're really good.
Okay, so this is dry.
Marta, I love formaldehyde. Formalin helps my psoriasis nails.
Yeah.
Formalin. I like formaldehyde too, especially in a coffee.
Yeah. No, because people are very scared of formaldehyde or formalin. Really, it's formalin. It's not a formaldehyde. It's mislabeled. Mm-hmm. But formaldehyde or formalin is created by mixing formaldehyde with water, which creates a completely different chemical. And it's contained in the nail polish in very, very lower amounts. And it's not every nail polish, it's the nail hardeners only. So I don't understand why even people come up with those formaldehyde-free nail polishes when all the polishes are formaldehyde-free.
Oh, by the way, guys, we're at 19,956 subscribers. Wow. We are less than 50 away from 20,000. Dun, 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 dun. Very excited about that. Very, very excited. So
we're going to do a second coat. So this dries very well.
Blue is a common whitener brightened in paper and dyes.
Yeah, but this is like a fluorescent. It's not a blue, it's a fluorescent blue. And I don't know why this glows more naturally. There's probably less of this fluorescent ingredient. And it's a fluorescent number 6-7 something. It's a fluorescent kind of a...
Is that Aldi or Lidl? I bought Perfect Formula and it contains formaldehyde, really bad for my nails.
Formaldehyde, again, it's not bad for the nails. Mm-hmm. I mean, it would be bad if your nails are already hard because it's a hardener.
Scale. I just subbed. Love you guys. Well, thank you so much for that. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Guys, if you love the content and you're not actually subscribed, we would super appreciate if you would subscribe and maybe hit that like button. It's free. It's no extra cost to you. It takes an extra second. providing that you do find value in what we do. We greatly appreciate it.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this away a little bit.
We have CJL here, a guy here. I love your videos, and that your partner wears polish like me. Well, is he confident doing his own manicure now that he has watched you and your skills for so long? I've learned so much. For the most part, I would say that I could do my own manicure and feel confident about it.
But we're gonna do, what I was thinking about.
I'm just really bad at the shaping part. That's the part that kills me, is getting that nice even shape, because for whatever reason my eye gets caught to the
white line.
The white line,
and not the end.
Absolutely all over the place.
So there was a solution for that. So if you have that problem that you're following the white part and not the end, have the nails polished.
Yeah.
And shape them with the nail polish on, and then take off the nail polish.
Interesting way of doing it.
Because then your eye is not drawn. For example, like you can see this part, because I used to bite my nails, this is higher here, but you can't shape the nails that way, right?
I always try and go by the left to the right, like when not the corners per se, but like just the way this kind of lines up, like from left to right.
Yeah, exactly.
And I try and shape it that way, is looking, is this even from the left side of my nail to the right side of the nail? And just making sure that curve, but that can be very difficult.
Yeah, you have to develop the eye for it. Okay, question of the day. So do you think this manicure is super easy? And it's super doable for everyone?
Yeah.
Please let us know. Honestly, because this whole video is about doing easy manicures that really change the way the skin around your nails look. So I'm just really curious, what do you think, if this is easy for an average person to kind of follow?
This is a great tip. I have trouble with shaping too, and follow the white line. Yeah, do not follow the white line. Don't follow the white light, and don't follow the white line. Those are, key pieces of advice as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so M said yes. My True Serenity said yes.
Great tip for filing. Might not be bad, but it instantly cracks and splits and chips my crappy, soft, rigid nails. That's coming from Itsums. My True Serenity. I'm 5 days into my first DD manicure so far. It is doing pretty well. Minimal chipping, even with my nails are exposed to water. Super awesome to hear. Very glad that that's all working out.
By the way, I'm waiting for this to dry a little bit so I can polish this hand. This is what I do.
There was a message from Megan Reeves. I have, oh goodness, you know how to pronounce this word. I'm not so good at pronouncing it. Scoliosis.
Yeah, every week is harder. Yeah, but honestly, it will take you half an hour.
So if I can that,
so sometimes, okay, I have an idea, like onycholysis.
Onycholysis, the before and after is amazing. You obviously care so much and are the best technician.
Oh, thank you.
Best nail technician
trying.
In the world. Well, we really appreciate that. Thank you.
So I was saying something. Oh, yeah, half an hour. Half an hour. Put on some good, educational, because, education and trying to improve yourself is very important for our brains to kind of maintain that health of our brain. So when you're listening to some kind of podcasts, put on some like a good informational podcast. And then, exactly, Huberman Lab, amazing. Lex Fridman. There are a few, and about the sleep.
You have Matthew Walker, Dr. Matthew Walker. He's also a great one to listen to for podcasts. The Daily Stoic.
Yeah.
That's another one. Very short, very 10-minute.
So you can listen to two of them, and then kind of like
radio Headspace.
Yeah, and people talk a lot about self-care, and it's, it bothers me because it's not very often about self-care. It's indulgence. And yes, it's silly coming from me because this is kind of like who needs perfect nails, but it is indulgent to a degree. But I try not to go too far with it, and I just know that this is what we're doing for ourselves to make us feel better. But I don't, like I said, I don't go too far saying, okay, this is self-care and things that you like. So that way you maybe won't feel as guilty for doing this when you are listening to some really good podcasts that are life-changing for sure, because that information, it made such positive impact on our life that I highly, highly recommend it.
Well, Mind Pump was one that really helped turn my life around and got us to this point. Like, And that's not to say, it was a podcast that came at the right time and a point in my life that, really created a massive pivot in my journey in life and helped kind of open my eyes to a much broader way of living. And not just from a fitness and nutritional aspect. That was something I've known for, the past 25 years. It was some of the more broader aspects of life that Fridman, the Daily Stoic, radio Headspace, Wim Hof. These are, different avenues and of information that have really helped with personal growth and to also, in a way to be able to help others. Mm-hmm. It's had such a strong impact, these types of podcasts, if you're driving to work, from work, you have like 20, 30 minutes, you're doing your nails, whatever it may be, throw on one of these podcasts, educate yourself as you're kind of going along. I mean, even being a part of our family here, you're partaking in that type of education, which is great, and I congratulate you for it. But
so this one, okay,
in any case,
judging it side by side, this is more pinkier a little bit. It could be because also there is a little bit more yellowing. It shows up more. But you know what? We're gonna, once this dries, we are going...
Probably because you're unplugged from here.
Oh, okay. So can you plug it in? Hold on a second.
Oh. Heckins.
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
Yeah, you have to... either that or we have to finish the video.
What's this plugged into?
No, just unplug the computer maybe. Yeah.
But where's the...
I can't because my nails are dry.
Okay, well, I'm looking... Hold on.
Okay, yeah. That's life. Okay, I think hopefully we're not gonna... The camera's not going to die.
It should be all right.
The good thing about the Dior is that it's a very, very predictable product and it dries super quickly. I would say I usually give it 2 minutes with clients. Yeah, and again, this is not going to, like this part, even if you're not doing any polishing, just still do this because it's so good to maintain the skin around your nails, right? So then your manicures or like with polish, are so much easier to do.
That's a great idea. Thank you for that, Amazon. A what to listen to while you do your nails video would be amazing. Very neat. I like that idea. And Marta, can you type those podcasts out so I can screenshot it to save? I will do you one even better. I'm going to actually email you that list. And you know what? That way you will have it on hand.
We will actually put this in a comment. You know what? In the comment section too.
Comment section?
Sorry, the description.
Do you like matte clear nails? Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, Terry, I love Huberman stuff. Same with Lex. It's just, these are a lot of information to digest. Like, I mean, like an hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And so it's like Heckins, like, and when they're put out in such frequent amounts, it can be very difficult to keep on top of them. That's why I love when you're dealing with ones that are kind of, half an hour, an hour kind of tops.
Speaking of which, we're already talking about nails for an hour, so
oh my goodness,
we're sorry about that. So I'm going to put the oil, the Thean oil, which is very nice. I look at the ingredients, and it is apricot kernel oil, sunflower oil, citrus peel, lemon peel, vitamin E, and some other fragrances. So if you're sensitive to fragrance, this might not be a good idea, but...
Where did Thean come from?
It's German, I think, no? German brand.
I feel engorged on junk entertainment on social media and YouTube. Needs something that makes me think and evaluate life. These will definitely do that. They'll make you kind of take a step back and kind of go, when you learn about, different technologies, the way the body works, even the proper amount of sunlight that we should be getting in order to help us with our sleep. These things will all, providing that you're open and receptive to the information and willing to try, it can be very, very helpful for you. Mm-hmm. And by proxy, those around you.
Okay, why do we need to moisturize the cuticles? You know, we don't need to moisturize the cuticles because the cuticle, obviously, probably you just joined because I explained that earlier. So if you want, you can maybe go back to the beginning of the video because I was explaining where the cuticle is. So the cuticle is the part that we are removing from the nail plate. So that we are not moisturizing because we have already removed it. What we are moisturizing right now or protecting right now, because it's not just moisture. Oils don't give us moisture. They give us occlusivity. So they kind of seal the skin so the moisture can build up as well. Is what we are treating now is the skin around the nails, which is not a cuticle. This is a nail fold or living skin, proximal nail fold. These are the side nail folds. So that's what we are what we are treating. And also the nail. The nail plate also needs oil. The oil protects the nail plate and it makes it more flexible. It plasticizes the nail polish as well. So Russian manicures, you know, it's a term that's very loosely used. So everybody has a kind of different opinion on what they actually are. Very often, sadly, they're quite aggressive and they involve lifting the living skin and really filing underneath, separating, making a pocket and cutting the skin or filing the skin around the nails, which I don't do at all. And what happens is when you are treating the skin so aggressively, yes, at the beginning it might look good, but that whole area is really swollen. And yes, the dry skin is removed, but it's not a lasting look. You have to you're creating a lot of trauma to that area, and that's going to cause inflammation, and inflammation is going to cause the skin to become thicker because that's how the skin is trying to protect itself. So I don't do that. And when you go back to the video initially, or the beginning of the video, you'll see that my before was really, really good. So I don't have thickened skin. I don't have anything hard that I have to then cut off because I treated the area so gently. So I barely do anything to the nails, but I do it very, very often. And that's the trick. I do it on a regular basis and I protect the skin around the nails with oils, with creams, with urea, with a little bit of salicylic acid, creams that have salicylic acid, which is anti-inflammatory, and also it exfoliates the skin very gently. So doing all that makes the skin around the nails, as you can see, very, very bouncy and smooth and healthy. So there is nothing to cut. And that little piece of skin that's sitting on top of the nail, the proximal nail fold, is absolutely normal. It's normal to have that little piece of skin. The key is to have that skin nice and healthy and protected, so that skin is going to look pretty. So I hope that answers your questions. That was a long-winded answer, but it's so important. So I actually put some oil underneath the nail as well, as you can see, because that area needs to be treated as well.
Which sunscreen do you both wear, and has it changed since moving to Spain?
I use the La Roche-Posay Chaka Plus, and I was lucky enough that I bought a few bottles of it when I was here a couple of years ago. Few bottles. I actually in Canada now. I used Paula's Choice for a little bit. And I used a few other sunscreens. I had a client who was going to Europe on a regular basis because I prefer the European sunscreens. Especially the chemical ones, they're much better than the American ones or the North American ones. So that's what I use. They are more gentle because I have a rosacea, so I find that they're much more gentle for the skin, and I just love how they feel on a skin.
Right.
So yeah, Chaka Plus from La Roche-Posay is my favorite one.
Lab Muffin,
yes.
Science has great videos on sunscreen, very science. Oh yeah, super awesome.
Yeah.
So Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre as well.
Yeah.
And that's how I actually heard about the Chaka Plus, was for oily skin.
Why does acetone feel like it's burning when soaking off on some clients? Ooh.
Burning. You know what clients can feel sometimes is, well, first of all, if their skin is damaged, if it's compromised, if the barrier is broken from filing and cutting and all that, then yes, it's going to burn. But also when people are feeling, sometimes it's the pinching sensation. If the product is too thick, somehow it bends and it pinches the nail. So sometimes maybe they're feeling that.
Yeah, we got Tammy in here, and her and I have just been, exchanging pleasantries, saying hi.
Okay, so let's look at the after. So the after is not much different from the before, and that's the whole thing, because very often people wait until the nails get super bad, until their whole polish, gel polish comes off, till the nails are broken, then they come in for a manicure. And then there is really not that much that we can do. It's too late.
You want to actually stay on top
exactly.
of it and, maintain this.
It's very, very simple. It's the same thing with good diet. It's the same thing with exercise.
Good relationships. It needs to be maintained.
Before you get a divorce, right? So it's or before you get sick, you want to maintain the good health.
Yeah.
You don't want to wait until things are a disaster before you hey, we're human. It happens. Yeah. But I guess kind of learning from these lessons, it's a good thing to do. Yeah, all that and no difference. Yeah, because that's the whole thing. We want to keep the nails pretty looking at all times. We don't want
flossing daily.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, before your teeth fall out, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's the maintenance that we have to do. No, I get it. Like, seriously.
It's one of those things that you have to maintain. It's pretty much like everything in life. Like, you need to maintain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there is no shortcuts. And, making small changes that are sustainable is the fix. So if you can make one little change or two little changes, is better than trying to overhaul your whole life.
Ooh, hi, Laura. I'm guessing you must have just woken up after your drunken stupor from last night. Poor girl. Since I'm not going in on the cuticles with my EFILE, how do I know where to stop filing to prevent lifting?
Okay, this is a very long, that would be a difficult answer. Prevents lifting. How do I know where to stop? Stop what? Filing the natural nail or buffing the natural nail? Just when you... Okay, so do you prep the natural nail with an EFILE? That's the question. Or do you, and for what kind of product? For hard gel, for liquid and powder, for gel polish? I assume it's for hard gel or liquid and powder, because usually you don't get lifting with gel polish because it's very flexible.
Oh, and by the way, Laura, you don't have to worry about, pulling out the alcohol for this live. Trust me, I have nothing to do with this. I'm just purely on the computer, so there's going to be no her telling me to to stop moving or anything like that.
Yes, CJL, exactly. That's exactly. More patience, small, and more health, and not in a, preventing, more health in a not hypochondriac way, but more of a promoting good health to prevent issues in the long run, right? So just leading a healthier life, being outside more, being actually more social, which is very healthy for our immune system, very good for our immune system. And, not being too afraid of, well, we're getting into health issues, but basically if you're healthy, you're going to prevent yourself from a lot of issues in the long run. So yeah, prevention.
Looks like it's going to be trouble.
He's getting into the candies. Well, in comparison to the Russian manicure with the EFILE for acrylics.
I'm gonna try two.
To Russian with an EFILE for acrylics. You know what? It's very difficult to kind of answer that. Well, I have a lot of, I have some videos on Patreon with Watch Me Work, how I prep for shellac. Because for shellac I don't prep with with Blue Cross. I really prefer a dry manicure, even for gel polish application, because it works better that way for me. So you can check out, because that's exactly the same prep I would use for liquid and powder. So I would use these kind of bits very, very gently. And yes, natural nail can be prepped very gently without going into like excessive, what some call Russian manicures. But these two, medium or fine, medium usually better, they last a little bit longer. So these two. Is the e-filing bad for the nail? Yeah. Well, because any filing is bad for the nail because you are removing layers of, if you're filing the nail. When I'm doing the dry manicure, I remove the cuticle, I don't file the natural nail. But for that, you need a super light hand and really know what you're doing. And I would say 99.5%. In my personal opinion, way too much filing. And what they are removing is not cuticle, but they're filing the nail. And it's way, way, way too much. And then you also see that the whole nail is like so flexible because it's bent because it's overfiled. Mm-hmm. That does not need to be done. So just removing the shine from the natural nail is one thing. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to really remove a shine with, especially EFILE, before regular polish.
Does La Roche-Posay have fragrance-free sunscreen? Skin psoriasis hates fragrance.
Yeah, the Shaka Plus, the regular one, the one without the the tint, it's fragrance-free. I know, I can't stand fragrance in the sunscreens.
Yeah. I read yesterday that Biosculpture doesn't recommend any kind of e-filing because it causes damage to the nail matrix from the micro vibrations of the handpiece. I would like to see the science behind it.
Exactly. There was no science.
Show me the literature that in fact proves this, and then we will start actually, entertaining the idea of that being true.
No, it's not true.
However, until there's actual scientific literature, I'm going to simply disregard.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand where they're coming from because there is too much. Like I'm telling you, I'm starting to dislike e-files. Like I'm trying to show less and less of them because.
But saying something like this, and not having anything to actually back their mouth up.
Damage the matrix? No. I mean, I don't have any clients with damaged matrix, and I've been doing.
Hey, 15 years and my nails are fine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it's not the matrix, but the nail plate can be damaged. So are they talking about matrix, which is underneath here, or they're talking nail plates? Because yes, but not from micro vibrations that's getting damaged. It's from actually overfiling the nail plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Biosculpture they have some strong opinions about certain things that are, how do I say it? Not very backed up by science.
They're not exactly science-based pieces of information.
They're often, sadly, And I understand sometimes it comes from a good place, but it's...
Have the literature to back up your mouth.
Yeah.
If you're going to make statements like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit... And that goes for everybody in the industry, in the cosmetic industry, because there is not a lot of science, there is not a lot of proof to what people are saying, either one way or the other. I don't have proof that it's not damaging either.
Fair point.
Let's be honest, right?
Yeah, fair point.
I'm just kind of observing the nail and saying, no, it looks healthy, but I don't have proof that it's not unhealthy either.
This is true.
So, there is not a lot of either one way or the other.
Both ways.
Yeah. But I mean, I can use EFILE, and I've done it too, where I've used EFILE on one hand and no EFILE on the other hand, and both hands were healthy after a while, right? Like there was no difference in the nail plate. So, okay, what else kind of questions do we have? Yeah, again about the Russian manicures or the EFILE. So, EFILE manicure, again, it's a very, very broad term. So what it means is manicure with the use of electric file. And that can be done safely, but I would say 99% of cases, it's not done very safely. People are overdoing it and they're trying to remove dryness. But when you really think about it, when you have dry skin on your face, what do? Do you file it off? Do you take sandpaper and file it off and go, oh, look, my skin is so nice and plump and healthy? No, it's overfiled and it's swollen. So that's not how you address dry skin. You address dry skin means skin with broken barrier. So what do you do to fix broken barrier? Do you file that skin more? No. You fix the broken barrier by applying, certain creams or just protecting your skin so that barrier is protected. That's how you fix broken skin, not by filing it. And when this barrier is broken, you can still exfoliate, but the exfoliation has to be super, super gentle, and better is to exfoliate chemically than mechanically. So mechanical exfoliation is going to be like scrubs or EFILE. Chemical exfoliation is going to be salicylic acid, I guess to a degree urea, different alpha hydroxy acids, things like that. So believe it or not, chemical exfoliation is when it's done safely. Again, like I know it can be overdone too, but it's healthier and better for the skin than the mechanical. Sometimes mechanical has to be done and it can be done safely, but it's overdone big time. I wish I didn't see what I see on Instagram, because we see a lot of nail damage. Yeah, all that lifting, that's not healthy. It's not good for the skin.
Yeah.
And not good for the nails.
Yeah, very correct.
Okay, what else do we have here? Just answering. Trying to answer questions that we maybe missed. Yeah, exactly. So someone said, who said that? Steph Jones. Makes so much sense now. My cuticles were barely noticeable before I started doing Russian manicures. I think I'll stop because it is so temper and quite aggressive. Yes. So again, I'm very crazy about the proper terms, because I'm not being a pain in the behind trying to correct people. And I'm not being a cuticle police here, but the thing is, the terms are so mixed up that people are talking about two different things, but they call it one thing. So that creates a lot of confusion. It's like telling, you're going to a doctor and saying, my leg hurts, but you mean your arm hurts, and then the doctor is looking at the leg and you keep saying, no, like you're looking at the wrong thing, he's okay. So you're saying your leg hurts, but your arm hurts, and the doctor is looking at the leg, saying like there's nothing with your leg, and you're like, no, but my arm hurts, or my leg hurts.
What
oh my God!
You know what about?
Okay, you guys,
I'm
what I mean?
Lost.
No. Okay, so you're going to the doctor and saying that your arm hurts. No, your leg hurts. But you mean the arm, or you mean your finger hurts. Okay. Bear with me, guys, please. So your doctor keeps checking the leg, doing X-rays, MRIs, and everything else, and your finger.
Is there anything wrong with the leg?
And your finger is still hurt. Don't mess with me. And your finger is still hurting you, and you're like, no, but the leg is hurting me, and the doctor's like, I don't know why it's hurting you, because everything is fine. So this is why using a proper term is so important. And even doesn't matter, professionals, non-professionals, we have to use proper terms so we are on the same page about what we're talking about. So cuticles do not exist. Cuticle tissue, skin, exists, which is underneath the proximal nail fold, or the living skin, or the nail fold, which is this part. The cuticle is underneath and it sticks out from underneath. So we can safely remove the cuticle. Once it's removed, it's gone. There's nothing to moisturize. You want to moisturize the skin around the nails, which is a proximal nail fold, or a nail fold, or a living skin.
Right.
Another thing that people very often misunderstand is a nail plate and a nail bed.
The Russian video translation calls toes fingers. Oh, heckins.
Yeah, I know. Because in Polish language, you also have, it's called like a foot finger, right? And a hand finger. Yeah.
A foot finger and a hand
But they're
finger.
both fingers.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's why. Lost in translation. Maybe that's what happened. But okay, so I have a very good link, which I'm going to move up in the comments, in the description box, higher, but it's Where is Cuticle by Doug Schoon. Please, please, everyone, please click on that link and check it out, because that explains, there was a diagram done with explaining exactly what I'm talking about. And to me, that's like my life changed when I understood, and it finally made sense, because I'm like, how is that you're removing the cuticle? Where does the cuticle end? When does the non-cuticle starts?
Right.
But now I understand there's two tissues, the cuticle tissue underneath and the proximal nail fold. They are sometimes glued together almost, and sometimes on some people you can see it better, and sometimes you don't see the cuticle at all. Most likely, you always see the proximal nail fold, which is the living skin, so always just protect that skin. Oh my goodness, I've done a lot of talking today. I hope it makes sense.
It all makes sense.
I'm kind of looking at the question, why does acetone feel like it's burning while soaking off on some clients? Sometimes this could be the heat, because if you are wrapping the hands, the nails in aluminum foil, it could be a little bit of heat, but I think it's the pinching, maybe. I've never had really clients complaining too much about burning. That's kind of not a good sign. I would kind of, but I know she's using, good products that are, so I don't know, I don't think it's the product, but.
Well, exactly how many people have complained about it, like it's always kind of worth asking that question.
Oh yeah, so, it was you answering.
You started to talk about nail bed, but got distracted. What were you going to say?
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so the nail plate here sits on the nail bed. When people say that they have damaged or something is damaging the nail bed, it's very incorrect, because the nail bed is the tissue that the nail plate is stuck to.
Right.
So there is a big difference between nail plate damage and the nail bed damage. Once you get a nail bed damage, that's pretty significant. That's dangerous, right? So when you have onycholysis happening, is you have a separation of the nail plate from the nail bed due to trauma. Sometimes it's trauma from even hitting constantly your toenail. Sometimes it's from overfiling the nail plate. But that is very, very often confused, because on many even instructions say, buff the nail bed a little bit, and it's like, you would never want to buff the nail bed. You want to maybe buff the nail plate a little bit, or clean the nail bed. No, you don't want to clean the nail bed. Hopefully it's never exposed. You want to clean the nail plate. So that's very often misunderstood. So I think those two things, the cuticle and the nail bed and the nail plate. Another thing that's very often misunderstood is the fungal infections of the nail. So very often the green infection that can happen is a bacterial. Various different bacteria can cause it, not necessarily fungal. But very often you see something, green underneath, and everybody's like, oh my God, it's fungal. Well, we don't know that. I was thinking about doing a manicure class, videos, and then we would have Mr. Salon live doing his own nails. So let us know if you would like to. That would be like a class that I would like to have for sale, and like have everything in depth, really teaching people how to do your own manicure, and he would be the model. So let us know if you're interested. Correct. Yeah, that was very very unfortunate way of describing it. So thank you so much for, kind of bearing with me when I was explaining it. Someone
damaged skin barrier.
What's that? Someone also asked, what does urea do for your cuticles? It's, again, I mean, it's not the cuticles, it's the skin around the nails. It's moisturizing and it's also exfoliating. So it's going to kind of make that skin very nice and supple and not hard. That's why there is a lot of creams for heels with urea to exfoliate the skin, and also it helps with the barrier function of the skin. So it helps to keep that skin nice and healthy. Because healthy skin is beautiful skin. London Grace before? No, I haven't. Chipped and cracked originals. Yeah, that's, I know we're going back to that, but usually just protecting the nails is necessary in order for them not to be, and keeping them shorter very often too, because very often the nails are too long and then they start getting, in a way, and they break and chip. Is the bevel flat area smooth or edged? The glass stick. Okay, very good question. So this part is...
That's already been answered.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay, so this is pretty smooth, but it's not like this smooth. It's kind of...
It's a very smooth texture, and that's...
But it's very, very smooth. It's perfect. Mm-hmm. It does not scratch the nail, but what I do is I almost use that edge. Oh my God, I'm far away. I'm using that edge kind of, flat and a little bit angled almost to remove that cuticle.
Right.
But it doesn't have the amount of texture that would scratch your nail. And that's what I was afraid, that it would scratch the nail. This part can scratch the nail, so be careful.
Why does most hand cream sold not contain SPF?
I think it's a good idea because you can always add SPF to the top portion of the skin. Like personally, very often SPFs they're tacky, they're not very nice, so I don't feel that they're necessary for the palms of your hand, but you can use it here. You're a super humectant, yes, moisture the skin. Yeah, so when it comes to hand creams, I kind of agree. And I know Paula Bagoon always kind of like, it's a hand cream, but it doesn't have SPF, so thumbs get down. You can always add, and that way you can use the hand cream at night and during the day. And like if you're inside, you don't have to be reapplying every time SPF. You don't need, and SPF can also be irritating, right? So if it's not necessary, if you're inside all day and you're reapplying the hand cream like every time you wash your hands, you don't need SPF when you're out, inside. Because personally, like I use very small amount of cream. This is, by the way, I know it has fragrance, but my clients absolutely love it.
I know, I do.
Like I use this much, like you can see small amount, even less, on my hands every time I wash my hands. So if I'm inside all day, I don't have to have SPF, right? And also, don't forget, making SPF is super difficult. They have to go, I have a very good answer. They have to go through such amount of testing, and the formula sometimes isn't perfect. So for example, if it's not as simple as just adding SPF to a formula, it's formulating the whole product with SPF. It's almost like having you can't have a conditioner and a shampoo in one. So you can make a very simple and very inexpensive, possibly, hand cream that's very effective. But adding sunscreen to it would make it much, much, much more difficult. to formulate, and then it would be much more expensive to produce, and it would I don't think it's necessary for a hand cream to have SPF. Yeah. Alrighty, I think the questions have been answered. Thank you so much, guys, for all of you to joining and spending time with us. Mm-hmm. It was absolutely awesome.
And I'm eating black licorice.
Oh, he is eating those the pipes.
We're so good.
Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to put that link about the cuticle in the description box in a few seconds, so please check it out, and we'll see you soon live on Monday if you're interested, and that's about it, right? Mm-hmm. Thank you so much again. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Ciao.